Hello and welcome to the next lesson. Here we will place alcohol in the bar by using the RailClone plugin. Let's start by looking for some alcohol models. The great place to look for these kinds of things is 3D Sky. You can see that we have plenty of options. We can also check if something nice is in the free section. As these bottles will be far away from the camera, the free model's quality will be good enough. Let me show you what we chose. We can skip this whiskey as we can download only 3 models per day. Besides, we have whiskey in another set. I have everything already downloaded and I grouped everything in one folder and all maps together. I've already merged all models into one file. As these models came in V-Ray version, I need to convert them to Corona. If you use V-Ray, just miss this step. Okay, let's add the sky and let's try to adjust the materials a bit. For sure, we need to adjust distance in volumetric scattering. In V-Ray, you can control it by fog multiplier in the basic parameters tab. Now let's adjust to the others. Let's check the IDs. Okay, so we want to have glass here, but it's blue glass, as you can see on this image. We can set the color of the glass by changing the color of the absorption color and adjusting the distance. While in V-Ray, we'll change fog color and fog multiplier. Change all of them the same way. Here is the final result. So we have a nice set of alcohol prepared to use in the main scene. Now we can start working with RailClone. We can help ourselves by using the ready setup from their library, which we can edit later on. Now let's create a line and select it in the RailClone. Okay, now let's go to the style editor and let's make some changes there. Here, we can edit some parameters. Okay, let's go back to the style editor. So these objects are the bottles. We can replace them. We can add other segments and add other bottles there as well. Copy and paste it a couple of times. And now, let's add a proper object to each one. Plug all of them to the slots. Okay, we can see that something is not right with the pivot, scale and materials. Let's try to fix it. Let's set the pivot in the right direction first. Let's use Xform to fix the issues with the scale. Correct the rest of the objects in the same way. Here we go. Let's render. Okay, so all looks good except the materials. We need to check the Use Segment Material option. Awesome. Fixing mission accomplished. Now let's adjust a couple of parameters here. Okay, we can copy this RailClone and let's add the other bottles now. We have the same story here, so we need to use X-form. These models are as a group, so let's adjust it as a one object. And now, instead of editing and adding each of these bottles, we can use another trick. We can use Corona Multimap. In V-Ray, it's V-Ray Multi-Subtext. Let's choose Instance Mode. In V-Ray, Instance ID. You can see that colors are applied randomly now. And now, we can copy all the views maps and plug it later to the slots. We need to have 11 slots. And here we go. It works pretty well. So we have both RailClone finished. Now let's organize it in layers. We can name this layer FIT underscore bar underscore alcohol. Let's attach these objects to B1. And let's add the bottle objects to the new layer. Let's call it height. We can actually delete these ones as we don't use them. Okay, let's copy these objects and let's paste them to the main scene, or merge the file to your scene. I will unhide all unnecessary things and I will copy the alcohol now. Let's rename this RailClone. And this one as well. Okay, firstly, let's position this set on the bar. And now, I think it will be better to have 3 shelves instead of 2. Let's adjust the position. And now, let's create lines from these shelves. I will connect these edges and create a shape from it. Now let's detach the lines. Next thing we need to do is to replace the old line with the new one. Okay, you can see that the bottles overlap each other. Let's copy the vertices. Here we go. It's working nice. We need to reverse this spline to see the bottles front instead of the backs. We need to change the rules in the style editor. Let's change it to adaptive. As we're missing textures, I will link them using the project manager. You can use any other plugin you use for linking textures or use asset tracking toggle. If you don't use any plugin like this, I put the link to the video where I show the features of the project manager so you can check it out. Let's see if this works nice. Yeah, great. Let's do the same for the pier. Replace the spline. Let's reverse it. Awesome. We can delete these lines as we don't need them anymore. We can change the display to point clouds, and we can increase the percentage value of the global and local density to make the shapes more accurate. Okay, let's unhide all and let's select these lines additionally. We can scale these lines to make the alcohol be positioned more towards the edges of the shells. At the end, we'll make lights that will apply the alcohol on the shells. Let's select the edges and connect them. And one more time. Select the polygons and extrude them down a bit. And now, copy these polygons. We can name it alcohol lights. And let's add Corona light material or V-Ray light material if you use V-Ray. Okay, let's add the new light select render element and add the object to it. Let's start interactive rendering. Let's turn off other lights and let's try to set it up. Let's make it quite strong. Nice. We've just finished the lesson. See you in the next one.